Like the sun, we bring light to your darkness. And like an eagle, we make you rise above the sky. Glass of film, making a difference. Good evening, all. I'm gonna tell you welcome to the Heart and Flicks. Please don't mind me. That's me trying to do patois. I need to learn this thing, Abek. I need to learn this thing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heart and Flicks show. Yes, your number one weekend show. And I still remember your number one humble OAPK to the E to the LLY. Kelly the Samis. How you all doing today? Hope you've done your house chores. And if you are doing your house chores, hope you're listening to Glass FM. And above all, I hope you are listening to the Heart and Flicks show, to be precise. And today on the Heart and Flicks show, we'll be talking about role model. That's the heart segment. Sorry, we're talking about a role model. Who's a role model? We don't have role models anymore. What we have are Instagramites, or we have our Facebook lights, or we have our Twitter lights. I'm being serious about that, but we will get back to that right after this musical break. Don't you go nowhere. Welcome to the hot segment. Yes, the 13th edition. The 13th. Okay, we're talking about a role model. Who's a role model? A role model is a person whose behavior, example, or success is or can be emulated by others, especially by younger people. I'll take it again. A role model is a person whose behavior, example, or success is or can be emulated by others, especially by younger people. This is very, very, very deep. Like I said earlier, what we have are not role models. Now, a role model is someone who is able to impact the younger generation. We're talking about younger generation, we're talking about the youths in their 20s, in their 30s, even the preteens. Yes, the preteens. I'm talking about those below 18 years, 10, 12, 15. The ability to influence those people through your lifestyle. That's what makes you a role model. But first, before we talk about role models, I want to let you know that your first role model should be Jesus Christ. Your first role model should be Jesus Christ. He even said it. He said, "Learn of me, imitate me." That should be your first role model. When you're talking about your physical role models, you need to be careful with the kind of people you choose as role models. Because what I see, like I said, are not role models. I know people who live in their life. I see people showing us their kitchens. I see people showing us their parlor. How does your parlor help my life move forward? It instead makes me depressed. It makes me ask, why am I still at this? I don't mean me. I'm trying to put myself in someone's shoes right now. I remember watching one reality TV show and I saw a celebrity showing us her fridge and saying she can't die of hunger even though there's going to be a lockdown for 3 years. How does that help a poor man watching you right now? How does that make you a role model? I know supposed to be trying to see how we can find hope at that. I mean, the period of lockdown is a very depressing moment, and you're showing me your fridge? Like, seriously? Okay, I'm not going to go all crazy on this show. So, like I said, a role model. I'll give you an example of a role model. Now, there are types of role models. We have community role models, we have athletic role models, and we have athletic role models, community role models, and celebrity role models. These are the celebrity role models are people mostly involved in the media. That is, we have people like musicians, actors, comedians, journalists. Yes, they call them celebrity role models. Then we have community. These can be teachers. This can be even our leaders too. And then we have athletic role models, these people involved in the sport, basketball, and so on and so forth. Where we have Messi, we have Ronaldo, we have Michael Jordan, we have LeBron James, we have Nadal, we have all these people. And then you're talking about celebrities, you know them. You have Leclerc, and so on and so forth. So these are the types of celebrities. But that being the type of celebrity doesn't really matter right now on this show, because we're having moral in decadence. We're having moral decrease in our generation right now, and that is why we have to bring this topic, because we are not happy with the way our generation is going. We are not growing. The graph of our generation is just bent. Sorry to use that. It's not going in the right form. You understand? Scripture say, train your child in the way that he should go. Our children are not even, they are going in one corner. So let's head straight to qualities of a role model. 1, moral. This is one thing that we always underestimate. You're a celebrity, so you're smoking. So because you smoke, I should smoke. Why should I smoke? You do drugs, I should do drugs. What example are you setting to that child that is watching you? Now, some of these celebrities, I don't know why I'm using celebrities and those in the spotlight. Most of these people in the spotlight, let me use it that way, that you see doing all these things, they are very talented, but apart from talent, there's character, there's attitude. You understand? And we don't want our children to be growing with the wrong attitude. And that's why we're trying to elaborate. We're trying to emphasize on what the qualities of a role model is. So, 1, moral. A good role model has high moral values. Research conducted by developmental psychologist Marilyn Price Mitchell and was reported on her website, Roots of Action, found that children respect those who practice what they preach. Parents, are you with me? You understand? Your children should also be a role model. You should also be a role model to your children. You understand? You should also be a role model to your children. Children learn from those who practice what they preach. So, I'm listening to your song. You are smoking. And I see you are smoking. Maybe that's what a role model is. I'm listening to you. I'm watching your film. And You're womanizing. Maybe that's what womanizing is. Maybe being a womanizer is a good thing. So children are very, very smart. For me, even leave the youth, you're an adult. As far as you're above 18, you should know what's right, wrong, and right for you. In fact, if you don't know what is wrong, right or wrong, we need to use koboko and flog you. We need to flog you with cane. We need to use the rod. Bible say, do spare the rod and spoil the child. This one, spare the rod and spoil the adult. We need to use the rod on you. But the people we're looking at are children right now. The children. What standards are we setting for them? As a parent, you are a role model. What standard are you setting for? As a pastor, as long as you are in an area of leadership, you need to watch your back. Even I that is talking to you right now, I need to watch my back. You understand? I can't be talking to you about being a role model and then you're checking my social media handles and like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with him? You understand? So we need to actually live what we say. So morals are very, very, very important. And then next is confidence. You need to be very confident. You need to be bold in what you do. Most people admire those who project confidence. I remember was it a guy or I read it in a book? They say people who are confident kind of walk with their shoulders high. They say when you walk with your shoulders and your chest upwards, it kind of boosts your confidence. I don't know. Maybe you should try it. I've tried that, and I think it works, especially when you're talking to a large congregation. So whatever, we're talking about confidence. That's one quality of a role model. And then next is hard work. Hard work. You can't make it in life without hard work. Any role model that's telling you that is a very wrong model. As a role model, you need to be hardworking. You need to show us that wherever you are today, you pass through some circumstances. You will be able to beat some challenges. You're able to beat some obstacles, overcome some obstacles to reach where you are. You see the likes of Oprah Winfrey, they were raped. You see the likes of Tyler Perry. You see the likes of Obama. You see people that came from nowhere to some Martin Luther King. These are people that we can say, yes, there was hard work. They didn't just go get the glory. There was a process. You know, we have celebrities nowadays that are not telling us about the process. They're just showing us the fancy cars, but they don't want to show us that we have to pay the price. My people, you have to pay the price. You want to be what you want to be in life, a good doctor, you have to pay the price. Sleepless night, you have to go through that. So, hard work, respect is good. Optimism and creativity. You have to be creative and be optimistic. I spoke a whole lot on the role model segment. I hope we learn. In fact, I think I'll leave you all with a scripture where we're being told about being the right role model, because whatever we are doing, we have to make sure we have a scriptural backing to what we do. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16 says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. So as a role model, one thing you should be, you should be Christ-like. You should be Christ-like. That's what I'll wrap it up with. Be Christ-like if you are a role model. I still remain K to the E to the LLY. See you on the FLICKS segments.
जरा सा महसूस हुआ एक लाइफ की गाड़ी ने कस के मारा ब्रेक हो रहा है क्यों कंफ्यूज मेरे दिल मशवरा मेरा तू आजमा के देख यही उम्र है कर ले गलती से मिस्टेक 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 बेटा चल मसल फुलाना थोड़ी बॉडी बनाना तेरे चिकने गालों पे स्टबल की फसल उगाना अरे रे रे ओबे चल बेटा शुरू हो जा गुरु बगल उठा के थोड़ा डियो लगाना किसी बगल वाली को मर्दानी खुशबू सुंघाना चल ऊपर पे दो बटन ढीले करके बताना बालों वाला सीना दिखाना परसों तलक तू साइकिल पे घुमा है हाईवे पे मोटर साइकिल भगा के देख स्पीड में तुझको अगर सर्दी लगे तो सीट पे पीछे लड़की बिठा के देख यही उम्र है कर ले गलती से मिस्टेक यही उम्र है कर ले गलती से मिस्टेक यही उम्र है कर ले गलती से मिस्टेक यही उम्र है कर ले गलती से mistake beta.
Welcome to the FLICKS segment, and we're still in India. How y'all doing? Namaste. Welcome to the FLICKS segment. And like I said last week, we'll be talking about the Indian film industry. So as long as we are on this show, as long as you are listening to this show, just remember we've paid your visa and you're already in India right now. So we're looking at Bollywood, the brief history of Bollywood. Like I told you last week, I spoke about the types of industries in Hollywood, in India, apart from Bollywood. I told you about Tollywood, different types of woods. Now, for us, let me start with this quote. For us, there's a God, then film stars, then cricketers. Those were the words of Indu Merani. He said, for us, there's God, then film stars, then cricketers. Those were the words of Indu Merani. Now, straight moving ahead to the history of Bollywood. Most sources disagree on the exact definition of the term Bollywood. So for the purpose of history, we will define it as follows. Bollywood means films produced in Mumbai, primarily in the Hindi language, distributed across the normal commercial film circuits of northern India. That's what a Bollywood film means. A film produced by the Mumbai film industry, primarily in the Hindi language. Yes. So Bollywood does not encompass all of Indian cinema, but it contributes to 20% of the total film output of India. That is Bollywood. Now, the history of Bollywood stretches as far back as the rest of the world. The first feature film was produced in 1913, and the first talking film with sound, was released in 1931. That is the Indian film industry. Now, what are some of those things characteristics of Bollywood or Bollywood films? One, nationalism. The characteristics came to define Bollywood also gave it a quality of nationalism, of representing India as a whole and not speaking to just one religious group, language, geographical area, or caste. One of these characteristics was the choice early on to use the Hindi language as a language of Bollywood films. Now, nationalism. You know, a lot of people don't know about film. Film is beyond bringing actors and crew members. There's always a target point for film. Now, India is said to have what they call, their films are said to be nationalistic. Let's put it that, nationalistic. They have a sense and feeling of nationalism. That is Indian films. Why? Because they represent the Indian language, the geographical area. They carry the representation of India. So, wherever country listening to us right now, when you look at your films, they carry a presentation of you, of your culture, of your behavior, of your way of living. That's left for you to answer. So now, another characteristic leading to the feeling of unified nation of India via Bollywood is the electricism of music. Yes, the electricism of music. Music is one of the biggest tools India uses in their films. They know how to make use of music. I can tell you that. Hundreds of languages are spoken in India, and Hindi was not even one of the common ones in Bombay. At the time talking films arose, that is, films with sound, Hindi was chosen because it was common as a trade language. That is, Hindi is a trade language in India, and that is why it's had to be used by Bollywood films in order to communicate to their audience. Now, next is censorship, guys. This is the most interesting part. Similarly grounded but different in purpose to FLICKS' attitude and extremely impactful to the Bollywood industry was the government censorship of film. Yes, the government is highly involved in the film industry, unlike other governments that just come and watch our films in the cinema and go out and see the things they want to see. Now, during the British era, when the Britons were colonizing India, this was what happened. When the British were still in control of India during the studio era, certain themes about Indian freedom could, of course, not be included. That is very true. What do they know about India? Nobody will know about India better than the Indians. But after India got their independence, guys, this is what happened. After they got their independence from India, sex was roundly forbidden, including any blatant physical contact, suggesting it such as kissing. Thus, exaggerated body language replaced these things and became the norm. such as bumping shoulders between two romantic leads or keeping faces very close without touching, the dialogue was also reflected with the compensation for the missing sexuality. Most importantly, through the songs, took over the expression of love. Guys, can you imagine? The government, after they got independence from Britain, removed sex in their films. They forbidden it. It's a forbidden in Bollywood films. It was forbidden in Bollywood films for them to have sex in their films. Sex. I remember saying this last 2 editions ago, talking about, or 3 editions ago, talking about being creative. You must not show those sex films. You must not. Now, when the government brought it, that is a filmmaker. Filmmakers are very creative. When the government brought it, the filmmakers did not just say, why we move the sex scene now? How we make it realistic? They sat down and spoke to themselves and found out a way of how to make it work. Yes, they had to find out a way of how to make it work. That's the truth. And how did they find out to make it work? Making use of music. Making use of close body contacts. Bumping of shoulders. Keeping places close without touching. Keeping faces close without touch. Do you see? Creativity. It must not be nude for you to send your message. I keep saying it. The dialogue also reflected compensation for the missing sexuality, most importantly through the songs, took over expression of love. 3 main aesthetics of Bollywood then was looks, like overacting with sounds, like corny dialogues, and when seemed like songs and dances out of nowhere. So those were some of the things. And now the next thing about the Bollywood was their genre. India's censorship also influenced the creation of several genres unique to Bollywood for many years. When Pakistan and India were separated, Indians' enemies could not be named by their true names in their films. Can you imagine? When India and Pakistan, Indian enemies could not be named by their true names. So certain plots developed, such as an evil landlord cruelly ruling a town or a family. So are you seeing the Indian film industry were creative? As problem came, they found a way of how to conquer the problem. That's a filmmaker. You don't just sit down and complain about the problem. You create and you bring solutions to it. They banned sexuality in the film. This filmmaker said, fine, we'll bring music, we'll bring close body contact. Now, they banned using of their enemies in their films. What did they say? Make use of landlords and so on and so forth to replace their enemies. So enemy names were not called. Next is the censorship of films came from the Indian government's simplistic ideas about the effect of film. They believed that it was a movie, the public will buy it and swallow it with no thought. So the government was so conscious about it. This is an audience that knows, a government that knows about film. Are you seeing? They even had the audience in mind. Wow. So next is music, which is one of the biggest things that have helped India. Music, of course, is what many unfamiliar viewers associate as the defining characteristics of Bollywood films, and it's certainly that has fed the industry throughout the years. Music directors as film composers actually think of the need for songs in films as not as statements of principle or as an assertion or aesthetic norm, but a simple and unquestionable behavior like the law of gravity. Now, you did be surprised that the use of music in India gave birth to a whole lot of music industries or music companies in India. That's powerful. So, when you look at the Indian film industry coming to Bollywood and everything, it's great. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. Well, we just had to do this. We can't keep talking about Hollywood. Let's give the audience a feeling of history about other industries as well. Not only Hollywood exists. We have the British film industry. We have the Turkish film industry. We have the Kenyan film industry. We have several film industries. If you are listening to me very well, I just mentioned one of the industries we're talking about next week. So stay tuned to Glass FM. I see you, man, your humble host, K to the E to the LLY. I want to say thanks for listening to today's edition of the Heart and Flick Show. Before we go, our social media handles on Facebook is Glass FM, on Twitter is Glass_FM, on YouTube is Glass FM/TV, on TikTok is Glass FM. You want to call us for advertisement, you want to sponsor, +234 81 288 03452. I'll take it again. +234 81 288 03452. I am Kelly and I am signing out. Namaste.
चेहरे पे आई मेरे रंगत गुलाल की Last Film, #1 review.